business, it's like not that hard to be 16 years old and knock doors, right? It's if you want to start lawn, mowing lawns, it's not that hard to knock doors and mow lawns. Like it's just not that difficult. So that's kind of like it's not difficult to do if you want to. And sell B2B, it's the same thing. And you could just phone call, email, show up. It's just the acquisition process isn't hard. And so because the real thing is that there's an inherent trust to local. And so what somebody who markets nationally has to make up for is the fact that no one trusts you. And so you have to make up for it with marketing skill, more content, proof. Social, like proof isn't like your own proof, like this is the stuff that I've done, but also proof in terms of customer success. So there's a lot more that has to get done because you're competing the ocean. So your game has to level up. But you can absolutely start as a local business with almost no dollars out of pocket, start doing stuff, make the money, and then use that, leverage that into bigger opportunities. Okay. Is it possible to increase enterprise value by converting a standard business into SaaS? All right. I'm going to answer this question for you, Luke. Software is not inherently valuable, just like a standard service business isn't inherently not valuable. The thing that makes software valuable are business characteristics that software companies, when done right, typically have. And so they will typically have high gross margins, they'll typically have high revenue retention, and ideally some sort of viral coefficient that allows them to grow quickly. But if you think about any business that had high gross margins, high revenue retention, and lots of growth, you would want to invest in that business. And so software or SaaS, software as a service, right, typically has, when done right, all three of these things. If you take a service business and then have an identical software business that has the same characteristics, let's say you have shitty retention, shitty gross margins, and no growth, that is not inherently valuable and probably not even more valuable than the service business. If anything, it might be less valuable because now you have this whole dev team that you have to maintain, whereas service business, you could just keep going and it's less operationally complex. So no, software does not inherently make anything valuable. It just has characteristics that when done right can be incredibly valuable. Okay, let's go. Cycling, geez, calm down. Emergency dental leads. How do you print more leads? You spend more money on Google search would be the fastest way to get more leads if you want emergency dental leads. That's number one, fastest. Number two would be probably doing partnerships with people who do triage for inbound emergencies or health related, like urgent care type stuff. That would probably be my second thing. But Google search inbound is like for that type of thing, like toothache near me kind of stuff. That's what's gonna pull it. Okay. How would you scale a car mechanic business? Well, we're going to want, maximize utilization of the space first. So like, can I have the guys working 12 hours a day, all the bays completely, used up? Can I make them more efficient at turning cars faster? Can I triage the types of work that is getting done so that I can move the cars out more quickly in terms of like, am I going to take jobs that I think are, basically we have to look at dollars per hour. Now you can have an hourly billing rate, which is one way to do it. Not the biggest fan of that model, but it is a simpler way of running the business, not necessarily a better way, but it is simpler. Because then you could just say like, this took this many hours and that way your costs are kind of controlled. But the more profitable way is to sell to solve the problem and then try as hard as you can to solve the problem as fast as you can so you can do more jobs per unit time, meaning you make more money per dude per minute functionally. That is how I would think about it. Now, once you go from like, okay, I've maximized this location, you have to follow the same MO of nail it, then scale it. And so we got to nail it first, which is like, do these 4 walls work without you? Is it growing month over month? Are we getting good retention of customers year over year that they come back, they refer friends, etc.? If all of those things are true, then I say, okay, great, let's open another one or buy one that's failing, which is, I think in your space, probably a better move because there's going to be tons of really old mechanics who've had the business for 35 years. There's tons of capital expense. You got all the lifts, you got the zoning. There's all these components to that business. You can probably seller finance those things. What is kind of interesting for the retiring folks, an interesting deal structure that I've seen working a lot, is kind of like call it like 15 or 20 year earnouts or like seller finance deals, meaning they just basically use the business as an annuity, and so that way it's like. They just use, like if they're 70, they're like, okay, I'll just take 20 years of payments. And they're like, great, this will probably take me until I die. So that's like one way of structuring it if you want to have as much cash out of pocket. And maybe there's some elements of the business that aren't as like sexy. Okay. Pratt B, I've already built an ERP app for one client, a barbershop. How can I expand and get the next client? I mean, you should advertise, man. Like, reach out to other barbers, run ads to other barbers, make content about barber stuff, and then get them to buy your thing. Affiliate with people who have barbers as their audience. So that would be like go to somebody in a school community that has 500 barbers in their community and ask if you can white label the app for them or give them some sort of commission for doing it. Like, there's a lot of opportunities that you can do there. And I'll tell you this, because I remember doing something like this when I started. Don't reach out to one person, have the deal not work, and be like, I guess this doesn't work. Obviously it works. You just have to work it. You have to work it like you mean it. Okay, PQ, what did you learn about selling to chiropractors? I'm currently selling SaaS to chiropractors, been struggling though. Big thing is you're not selling SaaS to chiropractors. You're not really ever selling SaaS. You're not selling products. You're not selling service in general. We're selling an outcome, right? And so if you're struggling to sell SaaS to chiropractors, it's because no one wants to buy software, but everyone wants their problems to go away. And so we have to sell to the problem, and then we ascribe our value relative to the problem as the chiropractor suffers from it. And so as far as I'm concerned, chiropractors would love to have more time. They'd love to be more efficient with their patients. They'd love to charge more money. They'd love to have better margins. They'd love to improve their team. They'd love to get more leads. Like, all of these things are things that chiropractors would like to do. The problem is that their CRM doesn't allow them to do those things. Yours does. That's why they want to buy yours. Okay. Musa. I sell randomized 8-item mystery surprise cups. How should I drive customers into, I'm going to assume you said into this business. Okay. Surprise cups. That is a weird thing to sell. Okay. Well, I mean, fundamentally, you're going to advertise it. So I'm not really sure. I'm actually not really sure. It's kind of an odd thing to sell, but I'm guessing they're themed in some way. Like, it's like, I mean, think of it like a booster pack for Magic the Gathering cards, or like a booster pack for Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. Like, you're selling a mystery box. The question is that is there some degree of promise that they're going to make an amount above that? Like, Amazon sells mystery boxes. Kind of interesting. I don't know if you knew this. Where it's like, I think it's like 2 or 3 times the money. It's like 30 or 40 bucks, and it's $80 to $120 worth of items inside. So that's like one of the things that they do. It's like a mystery box. So people just are willing to take a risk on money if they believe they will get significantly more than what they paid for, and they're willing to gamble to some degree and do it. And I actually did a big analysis for a thrift store that had this model. That's why